single day I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Hey there, Cerise here. Thank you so much for joining me. Guys, this story had story time. Oh, by the way, welcome to Story Time from Sosua Shores. Well, this story came to me from a woman, a Dominican woman. Now, this Dominican woman is not a working girl. And she is also someone who has traveled all around the world. She's been to Spain, she's been to Puerto Rico, she's been to America, she's been to Canada. The reason why is because when she was very young, her mother met a wealthy man here in real estate, and her mother traveled the world with this man, and he treated them so well. So she speaks 4 languages. A lot of people here speak many languages, I've noticed, but she speaks 4 languages. She speaks Italian, she speaks French, she speaks English, and she speaks Espanol, Spanish. Now, very smart girl. So she doesn't usually go for the sankey-panky type at all. She knows the type that she likes. She likes the sophisticated, not to say that sankey-pankies aren't sophisticated, because let's face it, they are. With their game. But when it comes to sophistication, what she was looking for was somebody who is well-read, somebody who also speaks a few languages, and somebody who is a professional. So she found that in an American man. The American man was coming down all the time to see her, and he really, really liked her a lot, like so much. Now, he cheated on her when he was here, and it really broke her heart. He cheated on her with a working girl, and it really broke her heart. So, she thought to herself, oh, what does she do? Keep him because she really loves him, or cheat on him? Like keep him and cheat on him, or leave him type of thing. And she decided to keep him and cheat on him. Initially, she didn't decide to keep him and cheat on him. She decided she was going to leave him, but she didn't tell him. Her heart wasn't in it any longer. So she decided that she was just going to not break it off with him necessarily, but take a little mental break, not put in as much, like not invest as much energy into him. He didn't really know this. Now, she went and she cheated with somebody else, a guy from Greece. And this guy has been in the Dominican Republic for about 15 years. So he's an expat here. He's not an older man. First of all, he's been coming for 15 years. Sorry, he's been visiting here for 15 years. And he decided that he was going to move here a few years ago. So she's known him for a few years herself, more than 5 years. But for more than 5 years, he's been living here. Okay, so let's do the backdrop on him. He's here. He is a common dude. He works for different places. First of all, he came here with his family for the first time from Greece, and then he started to come on his own. And so now he has his own friends here. He does speak a couple of languages. He's 3 languages. He speaks English, he speaks Greek, and he also speaks Spanish. So she liked him. She really did like him a lot. And she thought, oh my gosh, what a sweetheart. But she felt that he was a little too rough around the edges. He didn't have enough class. He wasn't well read, and he wasn't sophisticated enough. And she didn't know what to do, because she really liked the first guy from America. And she was like, but he's such a goof because he cheated on her. And does that make him sophisticated? Like I told her myself, I'm like, you know what? Sophistication is character, really, at the end of the day. Because what are we without books? What are we without money? What are we without businesses? We are character. And I think character should be number one. And if her man cheated on her, and it was not an agreement in their relationship that it would be open that way, then that's not much sophistication, no matter how much he can read and write. You know what I'm saying? And I said to her, it doesn't make someone sophisticated because they have money and stuff of that nature. Someone could be so ignorant when it comes to life skills, but be well read when it comes to books. So she, she agrees with me on that now. And I'm sure you guys will as well in a minute when you hear the rest of this story. So she slept with the Greek guy, and she slept with him twice. So then the American guy, let's give the girl a name. Let's call her Tulip. We'll name her after a flower. She is a sweet girl. So Tulip, she was, still in love with her ex. She was falling for the new guy, but her mind was telling her not to go for him because he was, kind of like rough, like I said. And so the sophisticated guy, after she slept with the Greek guy for 2 times, the sophisticated guy called her up. He didn't even know about the Greek guy. He called her up and he said, listen, I miss you. I really need to see you. I'm flying down next week and we need to talk. We really need to get our relationship back on track. I feel a disconnection from you and I miss you. I miss what we had. And he asked her, could you forgive me? Like, can you forgive me? I'm going to come next week. Is that okay? She's like, okay, no problem. Come and we'll talk. So he came, and she made sure for that week that she was waiting for him. She didn't sleep with the Greek guy. The Greek guy was really upset about it. He said to her, I've fallen for you even though we only had sex a couple of times. I think you're a very different woman. You're so smart. You're so down to earth. You really have a lot to offer a man, and I've never met anyone like you. Can you just give me a chance? I know I'm a little rough. My character's a little crazy, but I can change. And I will make sure I better myself, and she said to him, people can't really change, I don't believe that. I have seen many people change. I have changed through my life a few times too. We have to change and grow and evolve. And the more and I've seen many of my clients change. I'm a soul coach for those of you who don't know. And I have helped people dig deep inside of their souls to bring out the best of who they are. People that are shy to say, I love you. People that are shy to hug or kiss, I brought so much, I help them to bring the best of them out. And I've seen people change. So when she said that to me, I was like, oh yeah, well, people do change. So now, the guy comes down from America and, he's talking to her and telling her that he loves her, and he gives her a little promise ring to say that he's going to marry her one day. Now, she didn't need him to marry her because she had access to America through her stepdad's friends and Italy and Canada. Her stepdad was a wealthy businessman, and she met a lot of people throughout her life all around the world. So she did not need to marry this American man for status or anything. She's quite happy here in the Dominican Republic, and she has absolutely no desire to move out of her country. So when he gave her the ring, the promise ring, she took it in stride. She didn't take it too seriously. She said, okay, if it works, it works. That'll be wonderful. If it doesn't, she's ready for that as well. Well, they made love and everything, and they were just enjoying life. Well, he came for only 3 days. He came here to visit for 3 days, and they were enjoying each other so much, and it was like they were back together again. Like, it was like he never cheated. It was like she never slept with anyone. And she didn't tell him about the Greek guy at all. Well, when he went back to America, he said to her, he contacted her, and he told her that he's itchy down there. And has she slept with anyone? Now, obviously, he heard somewhere through the grapevine that she did something. This is a small town and a lot of people talk. So, she said no, she didn't sleep with anyone. And he said, well, I have something down there. He told her he has gonorrhea. And she was like, what? No, that's impossible. And he said, okay, just tell me this. Did you sleep with someone else or not? Because he needed to get it checked. And she said, maybe you slept with someone when you were here. And he's like, I was with you for the whole 3 days. You gave me something. Who have you been sleeping with? And he instilled fear in her, and she didn't admit it. She didn't admit it at all. But she went to the Greek guy and flipped out. And she just flipped out on him because, she said he's uneducated. He doesn't really have the best job. He doesn't really, he just kind of lives off the fat of the land. He gets little jobs here and there working with foreigners. And he's not very educated at all. That was her main thing. And she said that, of course, he's the one that sleeps with everyone else, and he gave her something. And I asked her, I said, did you sleep with a condom? She said, yes. And I said, both times? She said, yes. And I'm like, chances are highly unlikely that he gave anything to you. And she's like, yes, I know that now, is what she said to me. So she knew at this point, she didn't know it. Right now, she knows the truth. Now, what happened? Well, when she accused the Greek guy, she went all in, on him, told him exactly what she thinks about him, told him exactly everything. And she left it in voice note after voice note after voice note on WhatsApp. And she told me she sliced into him like she never did before, because she really does love the really did love the American guy, right? And now the American guy was telling her, oh my gosh, we're together again. I love you. We got to be together. Here's a promise ring. And then he gets home and he's like, he has gonorrhea. Like, first of all, I don't know. I've never had one of those STDs, but I don't think it takes just overnight for it to happen. Maybe it takes a few days, like most viruses or like most things, diseases or whatever, it takes a few days to settle in. But he told her like when he got home. So I right there, it would have been a trick. I wouldn't have fell for it if I was her. But she said, she went in on the Greek guy so badly that she called him names, called his mother names, called his father names. How could he have parents that didn't raise him right? And he's all the way from Greece, and how dare him come to a Dominican and infect Dominican women, and how she's going to call the authorities on him. And she told him she was going to speak to one of her dignitary friends to have him put away because what he's doing is infecting people. And he was really scared, and he blocked her. She saw him on the street because she went by where he goes with motor controls and everything. And she went up to him and she started to throw bottles at him. Talk about sophistication now. Throwing bottles at someone on the street? Come on now. Oh, so she started to throw bottles at him and just picking them up from the ground, and and he took off. And one of the motor concho guys, who is sophisticated, does speak 3 languages. He speaks English, Spanish, and a little bit of German. And quite sophisticated. And he actually wrote a book. This motor concho did. A lot of you guys have negative impressions about motor conchos, but I have great motor conchos that I work with. One of them actually owns a religious not channel, but a religious show on a Dominican channel. Every Sunday he preaches. So, motoconchos, for those of you who don't know what motoconchos are, and this is your first time listening to a story, I'll fill you in. It's a person who uses their bike as a taxi service, a motorbike, or it's usually a motorbike, rarely a pasola, but there are some people that do have pasolas. And it's normally men, male profession, but there are some females as well. Okay, so the motor concho guy said to her, he said, you're wrong. You're wrong. This man is one of the cleanest people. You are wrong. And he is smart. I'm helping him write a book right now. And we're going to be talking about his past and his biography. Someone wants him to write his book. You are wrong for what you're doing. This man would never give you anything. I don't see him sleep with any women. I don't see him try to get any around the working girls. When he first came here, yeah, he did. But now he doesn't even go to the clubs. He does nothing. He's so innocent. Like, get off his back. I don't know why you're doing this. And then she said to the motor control, you mind your business. I've known you for a long time. You know me. I don't act this way. I must have reason. And he said, I know that you think you have reason. I heard the reason, because the Greek guy told him. And he said, but you can't do that to people. This motor control's a little bit older. He said, but you can't do that to people. Even if he is guilty, you have to go to the doctor together, get tested together, and get treated. And that's it. And never speak to him again. Don't embarrass yourself the way you are. You come from a good family. And this is how you behave when things are stacked up against you. You're not very intelligent right now. And that's exactly how he told her. And she was like, you're right. And she said, okay, I'm sorry, you have reason. And she left. And then she went and she got tested and nothing. She got her results back and nothing. So now she's thinking to herself, like, how come she has nothing? Wait. Let's back up a bit. Let's rewind, selector. All right. She called the boyfriend in America. She thought, you know what? Might as well confess. Might as well tell him that yes, that she did have sex, but it was with a condom, and she doesn't understand why, like how he could get infected, and that she's going to go to the doctor. So that's what she did. She contacted the American, told him all that, and he said to her, he said, okay, thank you for being honest. Please go get checked out. And she did, and she got checked out, and she was clean. Okay? She tested negative for anything. She called the boyfriend back, and he had her blocked. The boyfriend in America had her blocked. So she called from another phone. He didn't know that phone number. He answered it. She said to him, why did you block? I thought we were going to work things out. When I slept with him, you and I were not really together, and you had slept with someone else. And he said, oh, Jew. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, listen to me, please. I'm clean. Okay? I don't have anything. I said that to you because I knew you were with someone else. When you and I slept together, I felt it. You were different. And I just felt it in me. And I played a trick on you. So we're over. Like, I don't need that. I need you to be loyal to me. Yeah, okay, I cheated, but I'm a man. You went out there, laid in a bed with another man, put your legs up 2 times. She told him how many times she did it. 2 times. And you didn't even think about maybe breaking up verbally with me. He's like, I would understand if you broke up verbally and you said, okay, we're over. He said, but I still had the impression we were together and we're just not as good as we were. And here you are, you're a cheater. And he blocked her, that number as well. And she couldn't get a hold of him again. She just left it alone. Well, she went to the Greek guy. And she said to the Greek guy that, like, she went to his work and he was working like a temporary job. She went to the job and he just looked at her and he said to her right away, I don't want any problems, please. Like, I think you're crazy. I'm sorry, but I think you're crazy and I don't want any problems. And she said, no, you're right. I was crazy. I was, because I really thought that you gave me something. He said, yeah, I know you did. But I didn't. I'm clean. I don't even have sex. The last time I had sex was before you, was 5 months ago. He said, and that was with someone that I knew for a long time. And it was an ex. Like, but I don't do anything like that. I don't understand why you would think that. He's like, I take good care of my body. I love my body. And apparently he works out, and he's also a personal trainer as well. So he's like, I love my body. I eat well. I sleep well. I work hard when I am working. And when it comes to women, I'm very careful. And I thought you were one of those good women, but you're crazy. And she said, no, I'm not crazy. I'm really not. I was just really hurt and really confused and really scared. I thought I was involved with you and I was being stupid. And he was like, well, I don't know what to say to you. He's like, I, for one, cannot be with you. He goes, like he said to her, I believe you probably went off. Anyone would with that type of, news. But first of all, I didn't even know you had a boyfriend or any other type of lover in the States. He said, second of all, you need to question somebody. Ask them if they have anything. Go to the doctor with me. Let me prove it to you. But don't come back at me like that. And he's like, maybe the guy caught it from somewhere else. And she said, no, the guy didn't even have it at all. It was all a trick. It was all a game. And the Greek guy was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? Are you serious? He didn't even send you any results. He didn't even take like a picture of it and send it to you on WhatsApp to show you that he tested positive for anything. You just went off like that. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, okay, I'm not interested in you. You are crazy. And if that's how you go off like that, just in a matter of a piece of news, a piece of information without any proof, then that's your personality. That's your character. And I don't want to be with a woman like that. And that was it. So now she not only lost her dignity, okay, she also lost a good man. This Greek guy sounds like a good man. And she gained a big lesson. She learned that it is character, not money, not business, not any type of success that makes the person better. It is character that defines a man. And now she's learned that. She is trying her best to get the Greek guy back. She even asked me to do a soul coaching session with him. And I told her, that's not for me to convince him to be with you. I actually agree with him. I think she needs to do some soul searching. I think she needs to reevaluate her beliefs and her morals and her ethics. I think she needs to have more love for humanity. I think she needs to recognize the fact that not everyone can read and write, and some people that can't read and write are some of the kindest, most upstanding people in the world. So, she's convinced that I can convince him to be with her, but I'm not interested. That's not my flex. I'm not into all that. That's not my style of coaching. So I will coach her, and I will get to her to a better spot and get her, give her some words and give her some ways to speak to him in a way where she can appeal to his heart and try to change his mind by changing her character. I don't think it's going to be easy for her to do that, but I am going to help her out and work very, very closely with her. And eventually, when she does change, he doesn't believe it, then I will do a little intervention. I definitely will. But there are little comments and little things that she says even now. When her and I were talking, she asked me, she said, you didn't put my story up yet. You didn't put my story up yet. And she wants him to hear it. She wants to send it to him somehow, the link, so he can hear everything and he can know everything and know how sorry she is. But I'm really busy with story time, right? So when I didn't put her story up yet, she's like, you're not interested in saying my story, are you? You're just not on my side about it. And I got back to her and I gave her a mouthful. I said, listen, young lady, you need to hold off. There's a lot of people's stories waiting in the queue. You gave me this story the first day story time came out, and there's a lot more people waiting in the queue. Not the first day, but the first week, because a lot of you guys were sending in stories, still are sending in stories. Like there's a couple of stories from even a couple of my good friends that I've met here in the Dominican Republic, and also people who I call family in the Dominican Republic here, and also American family, Canadian family, all around the world family, Holland and everything. You guys all have stories for me, and you guys are like my good people, and I still haven't put you guys ahead of some of the other stories. So I had to explain that to her, that she needs to wait in line. And she copped a little bit of an attitude. And I was like, that right there, my love, right? That right there is a bad character. You need to hold your tongue and hold your corner and relax. You know, her tongue is what gets her into trouble. The tongue is one of the strongest muscles in your body, okay? But it is one of the dangerous ones too. It is so strong that it can break a friendship, and it is so clever that it can make a friendship. So we all need to be careful with our tongue. And that's one thing she needs to learn. Disconnect it. Keep that mouth closed. Keep that tongue clenched in between those teeth and shut up when your mind is going crazy with thoughts. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Turn your phone off if you have to, guys, girls. Like, if you have to turn off your cell phone because you're so angry at someone and you know you're about to rip into them and you don't have any proof for what you're about to rip into them for, it's just a thought, turn your phone off, because you can't turn your brain off, right? That's difficult. Turn your phone off, or just turn your computer off, or just do something. But at the end of the day, what you need to do is tune in to being better, period. Your character is what will mark you. Your character is what will carry you. A man can make $1 million, but who is that man without the million? With a good character, he can make another million and another million. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that is what we need to do in life. Focus on our character. When we are falling in love with people and they have material items, we have to also watch how they treat others, how they treat themselves, and how they treat us. Period. All right, guys. I got to tell you, I'm loving this story time. And, you know, this girl here, Tulip, I think I called her Tulip. She wants some advice from you guys, as always, but she wants the women to also give her advice. So, ladies, come on, comment, let her know. I mean, I know we've all gotten crazy in our days, right? A lot of us, we go off the rails and everything, but you know, she got kind of off when she went throwing bottles and everything. She just wants some advice from some of you guys on what she should do. She thinks that she needs to pursue him. She feels that he deserves her. That's what she says. And I'm like, I don't know. I think she needs to pursue a better self. And eventually, if you let something go and you love it, it will come back to you. He did not spend enough time with her in order to really enjoy her or trust her that much. So he is scared. I mean, she was throwing bottles at him. She was chasing him down the street. She said horrible things to him about his family and everything, and all for nothing and out of the blue. Of course, he's a little nervous right now. Guys, now, she asked for more comments from the ladies because she, you know, I guess wants some type of support. But I don't think she's going to get much support from you ladies either. I think you guys are usually straight up out the gate. Bam. You guys do not cut any corners. And I'm really looking forward to the gentlemen as well that are going to be commenting too, because a lot of you gentlemen are very self-maintained. And you may not know how to read well or spell right or have proper grammar, but you're a pretty good person overall, right? And you're well loved and well respected in your community with your family and everything. So maybe you guys can also comment, you know? Let this girl get shaken up a little bit so she can get that shake up and then shake down and plant new seeds and fertilize a new character. I think that's all she needs to do. Overall, Tulip is a sweet girl, and I did enjoy speaking to her. She has a little bit of a temper that she needs to control, and at the end of the day, I think she'll be cool. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Story time from Sosua Shores. I'm Cerise Fairfax. You can contact me on WhatsApp at 829-702-7726. Okay, take care, everyone. Thank you so much for subscribing. And when you do subscribe, make sure you hit that little bell icon for notifications of videos that I will upload in the future. I do have a playlist now for story time, so check out my playlist If you're looking for an apartment or anything of that nature, when you come on down here to the Dominican Republic, I also have a playlist for apartments that you guys can look at and explore your options. Alrighty, thank you for joining me. Big blesses, huge hugs, and loads of love.
Every single day